Hey guys, TraderDC here, coming at you with another video. Pokémon Legends Z-A has been subject to a lot of leaks over the past few weeks. First, we had the number of new Mega Evolutions that we were getting in the game leak, and then shortly thereafter that we had every single new Mega Evolution leak. Card above to that video if you haven't seen it yet, but nevertheless, nothing's really leaked in terms of story content or anything along those lines until now. As of a few days ago, as of the recording of this video, Icy Concentration C on Reddit put together a few images of story leaks that they found throughout the web, and today I wanted to go through these with you guys. The main piece of information we have from this first image here is on the right. We have the ZA story spoilers. This is a riddle that has been floating around online, and according to Poor Leaks, as we can see below, apparently this image is legit, and we have to infer from it what exactly this all means. So first and foremost, we have Shaggy and Scooby, but with 10% Zygarde and the female trainer's head photoshopped over them respectively. Then we have an image that says the first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. We have an image of a detective. Then we have an image of Lysander over the guy from Five Nights at Freddy's saying I always come back. Then there's a quote here saying, couldn't we use the energy to improve the lives of people and Pokemon? Thanks to Infinity Energy, Devin was able to become one of the top industries in Hoenn. So I think this image here is very clear in what it's trying to tell us. I think we're going to team up with Zygarde to try to solve the mystery of what is going on with this redevelopment program. I made a video recently on this channel diving into my own theory for this game. I'll leave a card above to it, but essentially some of what I said seems to be coming true here in this little riddle that we have. It looks like we're going to be teaming up with Zygarde trying to solve the mysteries that are going on within Lumio City. We're going to work as kind of like a detective-like agency with AZ, most likely, trying to discover what exactly Quasartico Inc. is up to. And I think it's very clear here that the ZA Royale is what's being referred to here in this middle image over here, where it says the first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club, in that the ZA Royale is something that's probably happening under the table. It's something that you're not supposed to talk about. Maybe the Kalos Pokemon League is against the ZA Royale happening, but for whatever reason, someone is putting on this ZA Royale. And in my video discussing the ZA Royale, card above to that as well if you haven't seen it, I was theorizing that I think Quasartico Inc. is behind the ZA Royale, and the reason for this is because they are going to use the Infinity Energy that is being let off by all these Mega Evolutions happening every single night to harness it and use it for whatever nefarious plans they are putting forth. I thought initially that it was going to be the A Legendary, but that most likely is not going to be the case, and we'll get into that in another video as to why the A Legendary is most likely not happening. But what I was just saying here is kind of corroborated by this little quote we have down here. Couldn't we use the energy to improve the lives of people and Pokemon? Thanks to Infinity Energy, Devin was able to become one of the top industries in Hoenn. I think that quote is very much hinting at what Quasartico Inc. is up to. They are going to harness the power of Infinity Energy for what purpose we do not know yet. And the last image here, outside the detective image, which we kind of touched on before, the last image though is on the bottom left. We have a picture of Lysander saying I always come back. I think this is very clearly hinting at the return of Lysander in some capacity in Pokemon Legends Z-A, but that is not the only story leak we've had over the past few days. There's a part 2 to this, and part 2 is over here. It's basically the same image we had before, posted by the same Redditor. The only additions we have here are Batman, this little nuclear symbol over Lumio City. We have what looks like a possessed Mega Lucario, and then an angel here, which this one I really don't know what it means, but Batman I think is kind of playing off of the detective and the Scooby-Doo one. We're going to be working like a vigilante kind of in this game. We're going to be solving crime. We're going to be stopping whatever is happening behind the scenes with Quasartico Inc. I think the bottom left image with the little nuclear symbol is very clear. I think whatever this energy is being harnessed for is going to be something that's going to be detrimental to the Kalos region, detrimental to Lumio City, which is why Zygarde is taking an interest in this. Most likely whatever this plan is, the energy is seeping out and leaking into Mega Pokemon, probably causing berserk Mega Pokemon throughout the Kalos region and throughout Lumio City, which is essentially going to serve as our alpha Pokemon like we saw in Legends Arceus. And like I said before, this image here, I really don't know what it's referring to. There has been some circulation of the term Ange, which means angel apparently in French, and assumingly this might be something to do with Mega Zygarde maybe, but that remains to be seen. We're not really sure what exactly this is going to be. And part 3, which is the final part of the story leaks as of the recording of this video, is quite a lot actually. We have an image here from Ball Guy saying L, hinting at Lysander, which is something that we saw with this first leak over here here, I always come back, so not too surprising. Then we have an image of Obi-Wan Kenobi, aka Ben Kenobi, in episode 4 of Star Wars A New Hope, saying literally AZ2, him and the dog are besties. I don't really know what's that referring to exactly. Is AZ2 Lysander? I highly doubt that. It's AZ2, him and the dog are besties. I don't know who this person is. Maybe it's a character that we haven't seen yet. And obviously the dog they're referring to, you know, the 10% form of Zygarde. It says, never mind, the Z-A Royale, you go from rank Z to A, 26 ranks, 11 types, strongest trainer to defeat Anji. It's not Zygarde. Okay, so here we go. We have the mention of Anji again, which is the angel in this picture over here. What is that referring to? Who is Anji? We don't really know. It says that it's ran by Quasartico Inc. Okay, that's interesting. This is actually the first time I'm going through all of these, so it looks like the Z-A Royale is being run by Quasartico Inc., which is something I was speculating and theorizing on in that trailer we got a few weeks back. It says each rank promotion contained different story arcs. Not too surprising. I said in my other video as well that I thought that the ranking system is going to directly tie into the story, and we're probably going to have to reach a certain rank to get to certain parts of the story. So like, for example, maybe when we're at the climax, we have to be like rank D or something like that, and then you get to rank A in the post game, or something along those lines. We have another image here from MK Burst saying, oh guys, the A in AZ is Anji, and the A looks like the ultimate weapon, so Anji must be that. And Ball Guy responds to that comment on this Discord server, kind of confirming that the A might be the ultimate weapon, and that's probably what Quasartico Inc. is harnessing all of the infinity energy towards. They're trying to revive the ultimate weapon. Maybe they created their own ultimate weapon based on the remnants of Lysanders and Team Flares in Pokemon X and Y. If we continue here, there's an image on the bottom left of a white-haired Lysander, Jet, who is the head of Quasartico Inc., plus Urbane and Tawny. Is this hinting at, potentially, that Urbane and Tawny are the children of Lysander and Jet? Maybe that's a possibility, but again, that remains to be seen. These are riddles, so it's kind of hard to know what they mean, but if you have a better theory, let me know down below. Okay, so we have here Ball Guy saying something hinted is that Jet, Tawny, Urbane, and L are related. Once again, what I said before, maybe they're the children, maybe they're related in some way, maybe they're ancestors of the old kings of Kalos, AZ and his brother. And then this part here is really, really interesting. Cowman says Xerneas and Yveltal don't appear in the main story, and Ball Guy responds saying, yep, post-game episode X and post-game episode Y attracted by Anji's energy to the city. And then before I touch on that, I want to get to these last few here. It says it's not the old ultimate weapon though. There were two of them, and again we see the nuclear symbol here on top of Lumio City. So presumably what's going to happen in this game, based on all the information we just digested here, presumably Quasartico Inc., who's in charge of this redevelopment plan for Lumio City, is putting on this Z-A Royale in an effort to get more and more trainers to mega evolve their Pokemon, in turn letting off more and more infinity energy that they could harness to basically power up their new ultimate weapon. Did they create this ultimate weapon? Did they steal it from Lysander? Maybe Lysander and Team Flare had a second one in hiding. We don't know, but nevertheless, we know there is a second ultimate weapon in this game, and they are going to use the infinity energy to harness that weapon. We, the player character, are teaming up with 10% form Zygarde at the very least. In my opinion, we're probably teaming up with AZ as well to essentially look into, do some detective work on what exactly is happening with Quasartico Inc. Zygarde and AZ maybe have an inkling that, hey, this organization's trying to put on this tournament for trainers to enjoy. It's much more than that. There's a deeper plot here, something sinister that they are cooking up, and essentially throughout the story of this game, we are going to have to try to solve this, which is probably why Urbane, Tawny, and the player character are participating in the Z-A Royale to see, hey, can we find out anything about this fight club if we join it? And essentially, according to this image from before, it says the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, so we're not supposed to talk about the fact that we are in the Z-A Royale. Maybe again, the Pokemon League doesn't know about this, and it's something that's happening under the table being run by Quasartico Inc. Whatever is happening in this story, somehow Lysander is involved. This is the most murky part of this leak, if you will, because we really don't know what role Lysander is going to play, other than the fact that he will be returning in this game. They have the picture down below from SpongeBob saying, Lysander plus Jet equals Urbane and Tawny. What does that mean? Does that mean Lysander is teaming up with Jet? Does that mean maybe Urbane and Tawny are going to turn on us? Maybe they're a double agent the whole time and they're actually working for Quasartico Inc. I highly doubt that's the case, but that would be an interesting plot point nonetheless. Then lastly, whatever is happening, we know that the ultimate weapon, if they end up launching it or not, who knows, but we know that the ultimate weapon and this infinity energy is obviously bad for the Kalos region and for Lumio City, hence the little radioactive sign we have over here. And whatever happens in this main story, whatever the climax is, if the ultimate weapon gets shot off again or or not, or if we stop Quasarticle Inc. before it gets to that point, it seems like the energy that is being harnessed by the ultimate weapon is going to attract Xerneas and Yveltal to Lumio City, and that is essentially going to serve as our post-game. I don't know if maybe Xerneas and Yveltal are going on a rampage because of the Infinity Energy and the ultimate weapon, if they just come to Lumio City because they're attracted to it. We know Yveltal is a destruction Pokemon, Xerneas is the life Pokemon. Maybe Xerneas is trying to save Lumio City while Yveltal is trying to destroy it because they're attracted and kind of going berserk based on this Infinity Energy leak from the ultimate weapon. That remains to be seen, but the fact of the matter is we're having a post-game episode in this game, which is so cool because the last time they did this was the Delta episode in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and that was such a treat to play, and I'm so happy that they are going to return to that formula of having an episode where we're basically following up on the remaining legendaries of said trio. In the case of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, it was the Delta episode following Rayquaza. Deoxys was involved in that as well, and in this game it's going to be episode X and Y, whether that be 1 or 2 episodes we don't know, but it's going to be following Xerneas and Yveltal, and maybe they'll get some kind of new form change in this game. As of right now, that's something that has not leaked out yet. It's actually leaked out the opposite, that there is nothing new for them, at least in the build of the game that has been leaking. If they put that in there at a later date, who knows? But nevertheless, I really do think that Pokemon Legends Z-A, based on the leaks we've been seeing, the fact we're getting 26 or 27 brand new Mega Evolutions, the fact that this story seems to be rather complex and rather interesting, and it seems to really be serving as a direct sequel to the original X and Y. This game is really blowing away any expectations I had for it, and honestly is exceeding them already, and we haven't even gotten our third trailer yet. We had the first trailer on Pokemon Day, we had the second trailer during the Nintendo Direct on March 27th. As of the recording of this video, there has not been a third trailer yet. All in all, it looks like this game is really a massive undertaking from Game Freak, really trying to evolve and move the franchise forward. This is the first time we're getting a sequel to a Pokemon game since Black and White 2 all the way back in 2011/2012, depending on what part of the world you were in. This is really, really cool. It seems like they've put a lot into this game, and of course, I forgot to mention as well, we have the picture of that Mega Lucario looking like he's going berserk or becoming evil. That's probably going to be a part of this game as well, where we have some berserk Mega Evolutions throughout the city happening with wild Pokemon, and we have to stop them from doing damage to the city. There was an instance in the second trailer that did show us the player character with a Lucario about to face off against something, and it looked like there was Mega Evolution aura. I'll try to put up a clip of that on screen. Maybe that's what this is referring to here. This image is teasing that, yeah, there's definitely going to be some wild Mega Evolved Pokemon that are frantic like the Alpha Pokemon were in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and we're going to have to quell them and have to stop them from doing damage to Lumio City. All in all, I cannot wait to learn more about this game, because the more we've been getting from these leaks and rumors, the more and more intriguing it has become. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long for our next trailer, but for now, this is the information that we have at the time of recording, and we'll have to wait and see what more information leaks out there and what more official information we get to see what exactly this game shapes into, because this is looking really, really promising so far. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about everything we know about Pokemon Legends Z-A so far? Are you excited by these story leaks that we have? Do you have the same interpretation of them that I do, or are you interpreting these leaks in a different way? Let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.